Welcome in to Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at College Football Dogs. Let's get rock hard. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to Rock Hard Ball. Sorry for Clyde talking there at the beginning. I know you guys all hate him. But welcome in. It's good to be back once again. We're going to be previewing some more football. We got week 4 in college, week 3 in the NFL. For anybody that may be new, I'm Karter. That's Weezy. We got our producer, like I just said, Clyde here as well. And yeah, should be a good show. Make sure you check out the socials at Rock Hard Ball, at Rock Hard Ball Pod. Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at College Football Dogs. So again, appreciate you guys tuning in. And with that being said, let's just take a look right away at what we got. So like I mentioned, we'll be previewing week 4 in college football. Conference play is beginning. So things are really starting to ramp up. We got some good matchups here right away now. Last week was, a little bit of a dud in terms of the matchups on paper. Got a couple better ones than we expected to get, but it still wasn't, the best week for college football. NFL week 3 preview. Starting to figure out a little bit who might be contenders, who might be pretenders after this week. Then we got Rock Hard Bets, Rock Hard Takes, and of course, we'll finish up with Kelly's Kinky Rankings. So yeah, that's what we got. So first thing first, we'll get into college football. Here are kind of the bigger storylines. The Huskers, again, for those who don't know, we are students here at the University of Nebraska. So Husker fans, of course, we'll talk about them. They're going to be facing off against the Illinois Illini, ranked matchup for the first time since, I believe, 2019 in Memorial Stadium. So that should be fun. That's going to be on Friday night. So that's taking place tomorrow. UNL canceled in-person classes for the day. So people are excited. It should be a good game there. USC and Michigan going to face off. Big-time matchup in the Big Ten. We'll find out, is USC for real? Is Michigan maybe not as bad or not bad as we think? We'll see. Utah, Oklahoma State, big game that will put the winner of that one in a good spot for looking to win the Big 12. Tennessee and Oklahoma and Norman, a new SEC matchup that's going to be going down. 2 ranked teams. That should be a good one. We'll get into that. And then just take a look at any other, big matchups that we got going on around the country as we get into week 4. So that being said, we'll go kind of in time order, and we'll lead off with our 2 favorite teams. Usually we kind of save them towards the end, but a huge matchup with USC and Michigan, so let's do that one early. And then, of course, the Nebraska and Illinois game is on Friday night, so that happens right away. So let's do that one first. Nebraska welcoming in Illinois for a Friday night matchup, 7 p.m. on Fox. Illinois comes in at number 24, Nebraska number 22 in the nation. Spread opens at 8.5. It's moved a point now to 7.5 in favor of Nebraska. Nebraska obviously rolling pretty well here so far. They've started the year 3-0. Haven't played super stiff competition yet, though, right? They played all home games. They started out with UTEP, who, group of 5 team. They're not necessarily a bad program, but still a group of 5 team. Then they play Colorado, who is constantly hyped up, not as good as people always think they are. They really dominated that game, though, in the first half, put them away early. That was their best performance easily so far. Then they played Northern Iowa last week. They won 34-3. Little shaky at times. Run defense wasn't as stout as it had been in the past, but I don't think it's the end of the world. Not too terribly worried about it. Illinois side of things, they also opened the season 3-0. Won a big one to start it, 45-0 over Eastern Illinois. Their biggest win of the season, though, and they do have a better win, I would say, than Nebraska so far this year. They beat Kansas 23-17 at home. At the time, Kansas was ranked 19th in the nation. Kansas has since fallen out of the rankings, but at the time they were number 19, and then they took care of Central Michigan last week by a final score of 30-9. So that's the whole rundown, the explanation of what we got from these 2 teams coming into it. I probably talked enough here to open the show. I'll pass it over to you now. What are you kind of looking forward to or looking to see happen in this Nebraska and Illinois matchup?
This game scares me because I think Nebraska's maybe a little bit too confident. Like a lot of the media is saying, like the 7.5 is a very easy bet. I just don't know what to make out of it. Altmaier's been really good so far this year, but Kansas is their best win, but I don't think Kansas is good. I think we can both agree Kansas is not very good. No, I don't know, because Nebraska also hasn't played anybody. Like, as much as we can sit here and say UTEP's good, Colorado's good, they're not very good teams. So this is like their first true test, but it's a Friday night at home. So that's also where, I think I lay the 7, though, with Nebraska.
Yeah, I think it's a weird spread. I would love to see Nebraska come out and dominate this game, but it does make me nervous. Like you mentioned, Altmaier's played great. He hasn't thrown a pick yet this year. He's completing nearly 70% of his passes. They have a superstar wide receiver, Pat Bryant. He's like 6'3", 200. Tough matchup for a lot of DBs. He's already has over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns on the year. So they got some players over at Illinois for sure. Also, Xavier Scott, he has 3 interceptions and a pick 6 already in the season. He gave Kansas and Jalen Daniels fits in that game. So Illinois definitely has, players all over the place. They're going to be, I mean, they've already, I think, still proven that they are better and are going to continue to be better than probably we thought going into.
Yeah, 100%. And then also like flipping it back over again, like true freshman quarterback, been in the national media. This is also his first true like competition. Obviously, Illinois is going to come in here and give them their best shot. So, like, again, do his first pick last week. You definitely don't want to turn the ball over against these guys. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Illinois, the one thing that they've always been consistent with under Brett Bielema is a solid defense. So, Rilo hasn't really had to deal with hardly any pressure yet this season. That'll be a key, I feel like, in this game. If Illinois can get pressure on them early and often, make them uncomfortable, maybe force them into some errors. We talked about the pick last week. I actually love that he threw that pick last week because I think it's good to get the monkey off the back. Like, seriously, you don't want him to come out and play too super cautious with that. Like, you would like to think that it's not in the back of his mind, but sometimes it is. Like, when you haven't thrown that pick yet, the first time you turn it over in college, it's kind of, there where it's like, oh, I can't, I'm not going to try and make this throw, even though I think it's there because I'm too scared that I'm going to throw that first pick. So,
no, 100%.
And like that, the pick last week too was like 3rd and long. It was just a deep shot that they were just kind of, I think, okay with. Like, it was just a 50-50 ball, and like I think they were okay with it being.
It was in a fine spot. It was, nothing hurting the defense. Obviously, you don't want to turn it over in your half of the field, stuff like that. So no, it was a fine pick, but obviously you don't want to throw picks.
Yeah,
I get
exactly.
what you're saying. Where just get the first one out of the way and move on.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he will have to take care of the ball though. Turnover battle is always going to be big in football, and it's been really big for Nebraska in the past few years. I mean, it's pretty much not the sole reason, but a very, very large reason of why Nebraska has constantly lost these 1-score games and have lost to teams that they maybe shouldn't have lost to. So this is another one of those situations. Illinois has been very good at taking the ball away so far this year. Nebraska, though, on the flip side, has been pretty good at taking care of it. So I think turnover battle is going to play a big part in this. And yeah, just who can take care of the ball. Like to think that Nebraska should win it. I don't know. It's tough in the emotional matchup. I don't know if I want to actually bet the spread or anything like that, but I do think Nebraska wins the game.
I think Nebraska wins the game. I don't know, because I do think 7.5 might be a little too much. I don't know though, because it is like such a difference maker Friday night under the lights. Like, if this game was at Illinois, what's the spread? Nebraska minus 2.5, 3.
Yeah, probably.
That tells you how much of a field Memorial has. So I don't know. I don't know what to think. Also, the over under 42. I like the over a little bit.
Seems low. I mean, I feel like we're kind of that almost feels like leftover from last year where both these offenses weren't very good.
Yeah. Both have QBs who've been moving the rock really well this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think over 42 is actually probably my favorite play.
Yeah. Okay. We'll move on from it. Hope Nebraska wins, but we'll see what happens. I'm very intrigued to see because this will tell a lot, I think, about the rest of the season based on how they can handle Illinois. Let's go to the next one. Definitely a bigger game in the grand landscape of things. Weezy's favorite team. We got USC and Michigan facing off in a huge matchup in the big house. USC comes in the game ranked 11th in the country. Michigan comes in at number 18. Obviously, Michigan struggled greatly with quarterback play so far. We mentioned on Monday they have made the decision that they're going to start Alex Orji this week in place of Davis Warren. On the flip side, for USC, they continue to just pump out quarterbacks because Miller Moss is also very, very good. He's been highly efficient this year, but I mean, me and you have both been very open about the fact that we haven't completely bought into USC yet. So this spread open at 6.5. It's moved to 5, so moving a little closer to Michigan. It's still, USC is favored. But I'm very curious to see how this one goes because it's going to tell a lot, I think, about both these teams.
Yeah, the spread before week 2, by the way, was Michigan minus 10. So really, it's a 15-point swing. No, I have many things to say about this game. First of all, you might know more than me on this. Like, why is Sherrone Moore telling the nation who we're starting at quarterback on a Monday?
Yeah, I don't really know.
Maybe it's to just like boost up like the team, just letting you could have not said a word about that. We roll out Alex on Saturday. USC's not planning for that. That makes 0 sense for me. If you're Michigan, I think you run the ball 50 times. And I'm not even joking. I think you run it 50, 55 times and make USC stop you.
Yeah, no, that's the biggest thing that I want to see in this game is because, obviously we're going to get to see Orji as the starter for the first time this year, which will be interesting to see for, Michigan fans. But USC is obviously the bigger story coming into this one in terms of everybody thinks that they're a national title contender and the defense has been completely revamped. This is where we're going to find out. Like, yeah, Michigan didn't look great against Texas in terms of, O-line play, stuff like that. But their offensive line should still, whatever, be better than USC's D-line.
Yeah, and
They've still
no,
got
they
the running
looked.
backs.
I thought they looked
should,
great last week.
yeah, they should win the line of scrimmage here.
Yes,
And-
if
Good.
you're Michigan, we're not favored to win this game. If you lose this game, you're pretty much counted out. I would say chance to make the playoff are damn near impossible. So you kind of have to win this game. Play Michigan football, run it till USC doesn't want to be on that field anymore.
Yeah. I mean, and Orji coming into Ed just adds another factor to that run game, of course, because he can run the ball himself.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm
if I was
watch that.
If I was the offensive coordinator, I'm giving Clone Mullings 35 touches. Might be sore. The other side doesn't want to be on the field anymore.
Yeah.
They'll probably lose.
Who, Michigan?
Yeah, they probably suck.
I don't know. It's really hard to say. I think about Michigan.
I dated
still don't know what to think about USC.
Yeah.
These are two teams that I just don't know much about. So
and the 5 is such like a both of us not knowing what like
that almost says that like Vegas doesn't know either because 5's a weird spread.
I think it could be 5 either way.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. And yes, you are right. The Sherrone Moore thing was weird. Just really a lack of gamesmanship by him there to announce the quarterback. I didn't even really think to bring that up, but that's a very good point. Kind of a rookie mistake a little bit, I feel like, because there's so many teams that the Packers, like Jordan Love sprained his MCL, and even last week they were still being he might play, and even after the game they're like, no, there was a real chance he will play, that he would have played. There's a real chance he'll play this week, and it's like, do we know how true that really is? I don't know, but that's just something that even if you think that nobody believes you, there's the outside chance that the other team believes that you really don't know who you're rolling out at quarterback yet.
Maybe it's like a one step ahead though, right? They prep all week for just 50 runs a game. Jack Tuttle comes out, right?
That would be crazy.
And then they just start slinging that thing. And they're looking like Texas out there, just quick hitters. And we beat them by 40. And then it's like, oh my God, they might win it all again.
That might be delusional, but yeah, you never know. Maybe Sharon's playing chess and we're just playing checkers, but we'll see. But huge game.
But nonetheless, it's a boneheaded move to announce your starting quarterback a week before you have to.
Yeah, no, not the smartest. Huge. This is, I think, easily, maybe not easily. I guess there's some other big games, but huge, just playoff implications in this one. One of the 3 or 4 that we got this week, so that's exciting. I guess 2009 Jeep Grand Cherokee says Sherrone Moore is caught up with 7 kilos of white powdered substance just breaking. Not sure if that's true, but you never know. I don't know. Do you think Sherrone Moore partakes, Weeze?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he does.
I wouldn't be mad if you got caught with that. No, I don't know.
Why, you don't like Sherrone, though?
I don't dislike Sherrone, but it's like a lot of stupid moves already. You don't go to the portal for a quarterback. Boneheaded. You have way too much talent on that defense to just say, we're going to rock with these guys. Turn around. Okay, the guy we rocked with is very, very good at, putting the ball in the other team's hands. So now we're going to give a very big opponent, like a must-win team, we're going to let them know our strategy the entire week, before they practice. It's ridiculous.
Yep. Doesn't make a lot of sense. All right, let's see here. Donnie Deal says he took the alt spread orgy 4 touchdowns rushing. Thoughts? What do we think here? Alex Orgy for 4 touchdowns.
I love it. Probably 4 for him. I'll give 3 to Mullings. I'll give 2 to Loveland.
Does Donnie get any love?
Don's gonna go for 12 for 42 and a fumble.
Okay.
He's bad, by the way. He's really bad. Let's not forget it. But
so we're thinking 7 or 8 touchdowns from Michigan. Same from USC. They scoop and score and win on a Donovan Edwards fumble.
No, Miller Moss gets hit by a bus before the game.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. He does get eaten alive though by Mason Graham.
Yeah. Well, Donnie Deal said Mason Graham's over half a homicide. So, hopefully Miller Moss is okay in this game. But Mason Graham is an animal, so we'll see what happens. That'd be a big factor too. USC hasn't faced a real defensive line yet, so
that's true.
If Michigan can get after Miller Moss early, maybe force him into some mistakes that we haven't seen from him yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Or let's die, but yeah.
All right, let's die. Let's go to the next big game. Utah and Oklahoma State for control of the Big 12. Obviously, this isn't going to end the Big 12 right away, but it is a huge game as we look forward to the rest of the season because we have Kansas State who, if I remember correctly, doesn't have a very tough schedule outside of Oklahoma State. And then these two both have to play Kansas State and each other. So obviously that gives a leg up to Kansas State over these two. So whoever wins this game, I think, will have a good chance to win the whole conference. Utah comes into the game ranked 12th in the country. Oklahoma State 14th. Oklahoma State currently favored at 2.5.
Cam Rising's not playing then, right?
I don't know because
didn't they open up at 2.5 point favorites? Utah. I think it jumped like literally. I think it flip flopped like overnight, which tells me Cam Rising is not playing.
On here it says open was still 2.5 Oklahoma State, but I don't know what they consider the open on this. I'm guessing like beginning of the week open. There hasn't been an official decision made on Cam Rising yet. But I think if he can physically play, I think you gotta roll him out because I think this is like a borderline. It feels weird to say this for a 3-0 team in week 4 of the season, but it's like borderline must win. Like, I don't know.
I guess, yeah.
Not completely, but I think if he's anything over 80%, you probably if he's like willing to go, like you roll him out, right?
You have to.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. What's his first name? What's Zach Wilson's brother's?
Isaac.
Yeah,
Isaac Wilson.
Yeah, he played well last week,
Yeah,
but this is a completely different team. Alan Bowman's played super good for Oklahoma State so far this year.
He's also 26.
He is 26.
I saw this is the Get a Job Bowl.
Yeah, this is the Get a Job Bowl. It's two very, very old quarterbacks, very experienced quarterbacks for sure. Also on the Oklahoma State side, Ollie Gordon really hasn't played that well yet. Been kind of limited a little bit in these early games against lesser opponents. Could this be the game where they finally just roll out and be like, all right, you could just go run and win the game?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, that's what the game plan should be. Again, I've watched Alan Bowman play football. It's not great. He's been okay, but he's not great. So I would give the ball to arguably the best player in the country. Yes.
Yeah. Donnie Deal's the combined age of the quarterbacks is 96. Not that far off. I actually did see the stats.
Well, how old? Cam Rising's 25. And then Bowman's 26, right?
I don't know if that's actually how old he is. Can try to look it up here quick.
No, they're probably both 25 because Bowman's in his 7th year.
Bowman's 24, Rising's 25. But so that is what I was going to mention, though. The combined starting age of those two was 49, and I believe the starting combined age of Sunday Night Football this past week between Texans and Bears was like 45, I think, or 44. So pretty wild that they're that much older than two guys who are in the NFL right now. So that's pretty crazy. But yeah, big game for sure. I'll be interested to see what happens. It's gonna again play a big role in the Big 12 here going forward, and who gets that automatic playoff spot. Big 12 right now, though, maybe a little better than people thought coming into the year. You got Utah at 12, Kansas State at 13, and Oklahoma State at 14. If these three teams can all stay near the top of the rankings, maybe they do get a couple bids where when we first talked about it, we thought it was probably going to be one, maybe a two something. But
still don't know how much they're gonna love like a non-Big 12 winner over a Big 10 team who does well TV numbers wise.
I could see like a scenario where like if I'm trying to think like how that would work. Like if Utah wins this game and then they win out and Kansas State were to win out and they met in the conference championship both undefeated, then I think they'd both get in.
Yeah, probably, but that's a big ask.
But then chaos ensues too if we have whatever Oklahoma State wins this game and then Kansas State beats Oklahoma State, and then Utah just wins out.
We're
like
going too far down the line for the Big 12.
Running in circles, man. Running in circles. Hey, there's still I would say the third best conference in college football. You can give them a little bit of love. All right, let's move forward though. We'll go to by most people's count the best conference in college football, the SEC. Tennessee and Oklahoma meeting in a game in Norman. Again, big game in terms of I feel like 100% know exactly what we're going to get from each of these teams going forward. Tennessee is now all the way up to number 6 in the country. Definitely been better than I thought they would, coming into the year. I didn't necessarily think they'd be bad, but I didn't think they'd look quite as good as they have. Oklahoma also, I think, have played pretty close to what we probably expected.
I think it's opposite. They've not looked sharp.
You don't think
they looked better last week for sure? But
yeah, I thought they looked good last week. I guess, yeah, the Houston game, I kind of forgot.
Houston game was brutal.
That was a struggle. But yeah, Tennessee has just been pounding teams. So this game, again, at home for Oklahoma. Norman's a tough place to play. Tennessee is going to be favored by 6.5, open at 7.5, so it's moved a point. I mean, I think that Tennessee is probably in a different league than Oklahoma still, and will probably win this game pretty handedly. But But I mean, you never know if maybe Oklahoma can kind of put something together and keep things interesting. We'll see. But I think this is a big
No, I'll call my
indicator on
shot right
how
here.
if
Tennessee's
Tennessee
gonna
wins
blow 'em
big
out.
there. If Tennessee wins big, I think that you could maybe almost argue that they are going to start creeping into that same tier with those top three that we've been talking about.
I don't know about that. I think they'd be like the highest of the tier 2. It'll be the 3 teams we talk about, and then like Ole Miss, Tennessee, who just beat the
Where do you
shit
put
out of
Alabama
teams.
at?
I don't know what to
They
think
kind of by
about 'em.
themselves almost.
Probably like the bottom. I don't know though, because I also like. I think right now, if they played the game like literally tomorrow, I think Ole Miss would beat Alabama. But I also could be way off on that. I don't know what to think of those guys.
Yeah, no, I agree. Weird spot, but yes, Tennessee wins big. I think that they are officially, kind of in control, I think, of their own destiny towards making the playoff. Because looking at the rest of the schedule, I mean, they do have a couple tough games left, but they play Alabama at home. That should be an opportunity to win. Then they have to go on the road to Georgia. I mean, I think if you lose to Georgia and play them somewhat close, you could maybe even afford a loss to Alabama. I don't know. It's all going to depend on how things play out, but yeah, big game there as well. We can move forward though. Some of the other games that we have on the docket for the week. I'm trying to remember who I had next. NC State goes to Clemson. Clemson was ranked number 21. NC State obviously started the year ranked and have since dropped out of said rankings, but still a solid team. I mean, they're 2-1. Clemson's favored by 18.5 in this game. Feels like kind of a big spread, but I mean, we said after Clemson's last game that maybe a little bit of an overreaction after they got stomped by Georgia, but now Georgia got kind of tested, so maybe Georgia's not quite as good as we think. Clemson's in a kind of a weird spot, I think.
It also turns out though that App State bad, like really bad, losing to South Alabama right now. Clyde, if you want to check the score, it was like 28-7. Like App State was really fucking bad. So I don't know if I think Clemson might be washed.
They're washed. I mean, we did say that kind of already, but
then we kind of doubled down.
A little bit, yeah.
That's what you have to do. You just have to double back every miss you have.
Yeah, exactly. No, I actually thought that. I just said the other thing. I guess while Clyde's looking that up, a couple more comments. Donnie Deal says if Tennessee wins, is Brett Venables on the hot seat in Oklahoma? Probably not. However, if they get stomped, you never know.
South Alabama was 41-7 against App State. Clemson sucks.
Well, South Alabama though also it's an offensive juggernaut.
Yeah, they're still under 500. Bad football team.
Maybe, and yeah, so that's why 2009 Group Jan Cherokee said, "How is Clemson ranked?" I still think that I don't think that they've really done anything to deserve to be unranked. Obviously, yeah, the loss to Georgia was bad, and they got dropped heavily for that. But I mean, I don't know if we I don't think there's a ton of teams that you could really argue would beat Clemson on a neutral field today.
It's DJU.
No, I don't know. I disagree with that.
I don't have any problem with them being somewhere between.
Now we should embrace this one. Does the SEC go through Mizzou? What do you think, Carter?
No, does not.
Yeah, they killed us last week, Cade. We both rode 16. Mizzou might not be as good as we think.
Yeah, it's still really hard to say. Or maybe Boston College is somehow like kind of good. I don't know. I don't know what to think at all.
I was expecting that game to be a bloodbath, and it was. I turned it on in the third quarter, and I said, "Wow." I did not know.
And I said, "Wow."
Boston College. No, because I don't know. Is Boston College good?
No.
Because the fact that they're favored they're favored by 6 against Michigan State, who I still think sucks.
I don't think Michigan State's good either.
So that tells me Boston College is not very good. I don't know. I mean, Mizzou's old, so they have the experience that'll help them.
Mm-hmm. Next game, number 13, K-State at BYU. Again, we talked about the Big 12 with that Utah-Oklahoma State game. K-State, though, this is probably one of their harder games on the schedule, arguably, before they play Oklahoma State eventually. They have to go to BYU, who's played well so far this year. They're 3-0. They're favored by 7, though. I still think that they should win this game, and I think that there's a chance that they cover the spread. But it's worth noting that game is happening, not necessarily a bye week for K-State as they look to stay perfect and just get to Oklahoma State without any blemishes. Georgia Tech is going to go to number 19 Louisville. Again, I think it's worth talking about a little bit because Louisville's kind of been a team that they only played 2 games so far. Been talked about a little bit as being good, but at the same time, it's like, how good are they? Georgia Tech obviously was ranked at one point, and then we all were kind of like, they probably shouldn't be ranked. Proved to be true when they ended up losing to Syracuse. And again, Syracuse isn't bad, but I'll be interested to see maybe Georgia Tech could give Louisville a little bit of a run too, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, those are the teams I just don't know what to think about.
Yeah, the ACC just in general has question marks all over the place. That conference is just wide open.
Yeah, I watched Haynes King week 0. He looked awesome. They didn't look great the next week. I don't know. It's the same thing. I say teams are unbelievable. They don't look good. I say they're bad. They look unbelievable.
Donnie Deal said Michigan State play the weekend. I'm assuming you mean Michigan State to like not cover, right?
I think he's saying to cover.
Really?
Because I think he's saying Boston College is
good.
Worse than we think.
Oh, worse than we think. Oh, okay. I think Michigan State is really
well, I'll just
bad.
spoil it right away. I'm like a lot of money on Boston College -6.
Right.
Also, before we even get to that, I mean, we should probably just bring up that game because that's a night game, a red bandana game. That's got to give them superpowers, I think.
Perchance.
Michigan State's bad, and I'm waiting for them to lose, and they're 3-0. I don't like it. They have to lose. They have to lose.
Yeah. Kate asked, why is the background orange for Nebraska podcast? So it is red.
It's a camera.
But the camera, for some reason, just makes it orange. I have no idea why. So, yeah, very, very odd. I don't know. Okay, what do we have next here? Shout out NIU, number 23 still playing at home. Playing Buffalo, though, who, maybe a little bit of a frisky team. And he was favored by a couple touchdowns, though. So that game is happening. Figured I'd mention it. Talk about Texas a little bit. They're playing UL Monroe this week at home, coming in number 1 in the country. Arch Manning, though, is officially going to start and play the full game. I don't know. Are you excited to watch it? Like, I mean, can we really learn that much about how good he really is? Like, I mean, it's UL Monroe.
No. Their coach is saying, though, how a bunch of their players beat him in high school. So, like, they're not worried about him.
Yeah. He's going to tear him apart.
Saying that.
Yeah, no, it's
spread's 45.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be an ugly game. But I am just kind of still curious to see him play some more. I mean, it'll be a game that's probably worth just having on, one of the smaller screens, in your 2 or 3 TV setup for all of our real ball fans out there.
I'll also say this, though, like for Texas, obviously viewers down. Now it's Arch Manning. Now we all talk about Arch Manning. This is the first time they've been ranked number 1 since when?
Like 08, 09, maybe.
I'm already annoyed. I'm seeing way too much Texas on like every single social media platform. Enough.
Fair enough.
Am I crazy?
No, you're not. I think the crazier point, though, is that there's legitimate like Texas fans out there that are calling, like saying, like maybe Arch Manning should like start a quarterback like for the rest of the year. And it's like, why would you do that? It just makes no sense.
Everything about that school pisses me off. It's definitely turned up a notch, obviously, because of the events that transpired that awful, horrendous day. But no, I've had enough of them. They need to leave.
Yeah. Next game, Rutgers at Virginia Tech. Not a ranked game, no ranked opponents in this one, but could be an interesting one. Virginia Tech obviously had some hype coming into the season. That was, quickly thwarted on their early season loss. And then Rutgers, on the other hand, a team that, a lot of people see as one of the better in kind of that middle tier of the Big Ten. They go to Virginia Tech. Excuse me. Tough place to play. That spread is 3.5 for Virginia Tech. So again, will be interesting kind of just as a benchmark to see where those two teams are. Cause I think they're probably pretty similar in terms of.
I really like Rutgers in the spot.
I think that there's a good chance Rutgers win too. I think they're probably a better team than Virginia Tech, but again, it is a tough place to play. It's kind of what I come back to. I think if it's a neutral site, I mean, you're probably pretty close to just like a -1 either way. And then finally, the one we mentioned, Michigan State at Boston College. That was the last one I had written down. We kind of already talked about that, but I do think that Boston College probably covers. I mean, I don't think Michigan State's good.
No, I think they're bad. Aiden Childs has not been good. Not or as good as advertised, shall I say. And like I mentioned, it's a red bandana game. I think that means a lot.
Yeah.
They can't lose on red bandana game.
Can't lose it. And
then I'm also
Donnie Deal's agreeing with you. Well.
If they do suck though, or if they do lose that, then we will have to have talks whether Mizzou's a bad football team.
Yes, 100%. All right, I think that's all we had for the college football matchups. So that being said, we'll take a break, and then when we come back, we will get into some NFL previews, and then after that, we will wrap up with Rock Hard Bets, Rock Hard Takes, and then finally Kelly's Kinky Rankings. But once again, you'll listen to Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network at Culture Ball Dogs. We'll be right back.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12 plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College Football Dogs, for the fans.
National.
Alrighty, welcome back to Rock Hard Ball, again, part of the Dogs Media Network at College Football Dogs. Make sure you check out the website, collegefootballdogs.com. Game previews, recaps coming for all the major matchups in college football each and every week, along with breaking news articles, things of that nature. So make sure you check it out. Also, reminder, check out our social below at Rock Hard Ball, at Rock Hard Ball Pod. All that good stuff. Appreciated for sure. Next thing we're going to get into is the NFL Week 3 preview. I guess we can just open up with this comment right away as we get into the NFL. Donnie Deal says, after the break, Dan Campbell hadn't moved because of Lions fans. Are they the new Philly? Wee's thoughts?
They might be. A lot of delusion. They did leak his address. I don't know how they found it. He did have to sell the house. It's probably a good example, though. Like, you better know, like, time management, or else you're going to have to move. And hiring a realtor sucks. Now,
it's weird that happens to Dan Campbell, though, because he's pretty universally beloved for the most part.
I thought there was gonna be a Detroit Civil War after that game.
Yeah, it wasn't a great showing.
We had big media companies asking for Hendon Hooker at halftime.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Probably not though. Probably don't want to roll Hendon Hooker out there.
No, he's a stud, but no.
I don't know if we're rolling Hendon Hooker out there, but yeah. All right. Okay, let's just get into the NFL though. First things first, I was going to do an update. Thursday Night Football. Third quarter's wrapping up here. Jets are winning 21-3. Been a pretty dominating performance for them so far. Controversy in New York, maybe. Braylon Allen maybe taking more of that load from Breece Hall than people probably would have ever thought this early in the season. Thoughts on that at all? Or?
No, he looks good. Did you know he's 20?
Hey, he's very young. I've been hearing how old he is for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
Still older than me though. I'm up there.
All
right, loser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep me this mic.
Yeah. No. Okay, let's move forward though with the rest of the NFL slate. Since they play in the noon slot and they're at the top of my ESPN here, I'll just talk about them right away. We got Packers and Titans. Packers are going to Tennessee. They're 1-1. Tennessee 0-2. Will Levis has not looked good in the first couple weeks. He's already memed himself twice, along with just not playing great football. As for the Packers, loved what I've seen out of Josh Jacobs so far this year. He's carried the ball really well, especially last week's performance was super impressive. He carried it over 30 times for over 100 yards. They're going to do that again if Malik Willis plays, which I assume at this point is still the plan. But the Packers are still saying that like Jordan Love might actually play in this game. I'd rather him not.
Playing.
I'd rather him just sit because it's a non-conference game that it's not going to play into tiebreakers in terms of making the playoffs if it comes to that point. And then also like Malik Willis, he did his job last week. He looked way better than I think anybody in the entire country thought he would. Yeah, he did nothing special, but he took care of the ball. Made throws when he had to, and they relied on the running game. I think they can do that again against Tennessee. So I think even if Malik Willis plays, there's still a good chance the Packers can win this game. Tennessee's favored by 3, which I don't know. Tennessee really hasn't looked very good. I mean, they lost to Chicago when Chicago didn't score a single touchdown.
No, they haven't looked good, but I think this is more so like I think Tennessee's going to go into this thinking, okay, we're going to have to make him throw.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you want to do.
And also, will Levis not be like a dumbass? I don't know.
Yeah, that's each week it seems like there's less of a chance that happens in terms of him not being a dumbass. So
I will say, I really hope the Packers lose this one.
Well,
Going
yeah,
2-0 with Malik Willis I'll be genuinely upset about that.
Well, yeah. Well, that also just bodes really well for like the rest of the season in terms of like the team around Jordan Love's that good, and we already know that Jordan Love's a very good quarterback. So,
well, no, because then we can start the narrative. What if he's not a very good quarterback?
Yeah, I don't think that's true. But you do that. You do that. You can start that narrative.
I will and I can.
All right, you do it.
That's fine.
All you men. We got the Super Bowl between the trash cans and the jail. Giants at Browns. Cleveland's favored by 6.5. Danny Dimes, a little bit of a bounce back last week, played better. Giants still lost though because they're not good. Their quarterback sucks, but spoiler alert, the rest of their team's not very good also.
I think Neighbors is stud.
Neighbors
Outside of that.
is an animal though.
Shout out Tyler Newbin.
Shout out Tyler Newbin. Yep. I mean, Browns should win this game. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot to say about it.
No, I don't know how many points the Giants score.
Yeah, Browns defense is very good. So the over-under is 39.5. So it's fairly low.
Yeah, no, this
Packers
is
Titans also.
This is a game where like you throw on red
zone.
zone, I don't want to see it once.
Yeah. Yep. Good point. Unless it's like a Neighbor's ridiculous catch in the end zone.
Yeah.
I will allow that.
I'll allow that.
Bears and Colts. Can the Bears offense finally learn how to play football?
Nope.
Clyde says nope. Our resident Bears fan here. Colts also, in a kind of tough spot. They're 0-2. Anthony Richardson has thrown more interceptions than he's thrown for touchdowns this year. I mean, this is a game. I think this is a really big game for both teams. Chicago, I get that he's a rookie, and I get that like things take some time to figure out. But the offensive line specifically needs to, figure some stuff out. They got to keep them upright, and then you got to show some type of life here. Like we're 2 games in now. Gave him some preseason work and stuff too. We have to see some type of like growth. I think a little.
Yeah,
bit.
I don't know if that's possible with that line though, dude.
Yeah, it is. Really
I'm not
bad.
kidding. It's like horrendous.
He just gets mauled every play.
It's every play.
It is just a really bad situation right now.
Like I saw the stat. He was like the 6th quickest quarterback in time to throw this week. Got sacked 7 times. Like what the fuck do you want from the kid? No, I will though say the worst signing of the offseason is DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, has done jack squat.
So. Well, because he played with the Lions and then the Eagles, put up like pretty good numbers for him. They're the top 2 offensive lines in football for the past 5 years.
So he's just not good.
I just
that and like Saquon Barkley has been going nuclear with the Eagles. So I mean that too also shows that
exactly
line. So
no, but then also I'm never going to count the Bears out with that defense.
No, yeah, obviously I'm not counting them out of the game at all. But the offense does have to show some type of sign of life though.
We are talking shit on the offense as we should. It's a very bad offense up to right now, but like that's the beauty of a team that was like you can never say like they're ruled out because of how good that team is defensively.
Yeah,
and they got a great punter.
Yeah, hell of a punter. Not gonna have to punt much though, right? Ron,
he did punt a lot.
Let's go to the team that beat the Bears last week. Texans. They're going to the Vikings. Vikings obviously riding very high right now. 2-0. Sam Darnold's looked really good through 2 weeks. They knocked off the Niners last week. This feels like a spot though where the Texans might come in and beat the Vikings by like multiple scores.
We need that.
I feel like
NFC guys. NFC North guys, we need that.
Yeah, we do need that to happen. Sam Darnold has to come back to earth eventually. I don't think that he's just all of a sudden like a good quarterback. I mean, I think he's like serviceable, but I don't think that he's an actual like good quarterback that can propel the Vikings to wins. And I mean, we obviously Chicago's offensive line is very bad. Give the Texans defensive line though credit too. They do have some really, really good players on that D line. Will Anderson Jr. is an animal. Daniil Hunter, very, very good. They might get after Darnold a little bit early, maybe forcing some mistakes.
Yeah, no, and obviously the Vikings defense is a lot better than I thought it would be. But again, where would you put the Houston Texans offense in terms of like league, like rankings?
League wide. I mean, they're definitely top 5, probably top 3, maybe 2.
Yeah, and obviously they didn't look good against the Bears, but I don't think Minnesota's defense it's good. It's not comparable to the Bears defense though.
No.
And I don't know if Sam Darnold has the ability to put up like more than 24 points.
No, I think Houston. I think Houston absolutely wins this game. I mean, it's only -2, which a lot of that I feel like we're probably playing too much into how good the Vikings have looked the first couple of weeks. I just really don't think that's going to continue. I think there's still a very realistic chance that if the Bears can just get any form of semblance of offense, Vikings could still get last in this division. I
still think they do.
Yeah, no, I think that's very real a possibility. And again, a lot of it's just going to come down to whether or not the Bears can kind of start scoring points a little bit. Eagles and Saints. I don't know what do you think the spread on this game was before the season started? Because now it's New Orleans -2.5.
Probably Philly -4.5.
Yeah. Things have shifted quickly. The Eagles, for the most part, have looked just up and down, really. I mean, last week's game against the Falcons wasn't super pretty. Jalen Hurts has turned the ball over a few times this year. Obviously, they got that a fake win against the Packers to start the year. But the Falcons, the drop touchdown pass in the end zone, I don't know. It's tough look. And Donna Deal's, commenting here, Saints for real, ? I mean, that's really the question that we're trying to answer. I mean,
I hope not.
If they win again here against the against the Eagles, I mean,
Yeah, they
Donnie
probably
said it.
were.
Derek Carr's playing with swagger. Seems to be a problem.
Yeah, that
Alvin
is a
Kamara also just cannot not score touchdowns. I mean, he just is finding the end zone constantly. I don't know.
I mean,
how
scored all 4 in one game, but
still?
that's like something Alvin does. I don't know. I mean, are the Saints for real? Like we've mentioned, they scored 91 points in 2 weeks.
I don't know. It's hard because if they do it 3 weeks in a row, I don't think we can continue to sit here and say like it's just complete fluke, right?
I'm going to. I don't know if I'm not allowed to. I'm going to keep saying it's a fluke.
You're telling me like if they beat the Eagles by like 10 and score like 31 points, like they're
Fluke.
Fluke. All right. I don't know. I feel like at that point you have to probably start kind of.
Yeah, I probably have to. But no, the Saints are not this good.
I mean, I don't think they are either, but still, there comes a certain point where we have to adjust and be like, okay, maybe they are. I don't know. I'm not saying we have to right now, but I mean, if they put up another really impressive performance against the Eagles,
I just
it's
don't think they do. I mean, no shot. This game's in New Orleans, so
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Kate, I root for the Packers. Very, very open about it. Looks like you are probably a Bears fan, based on the comments. So
Let's go.
Yeah. And then 2009 Jeep Grand Cherokee said, "So are the Cowboys bad then?"
Yeah.
No.
I feel like the Cowboys do like. I feel like I kind of forgot about that when we recapped. That was kind of like a classic Cowboys where it's like, yeah, they do shit the bed a lot in the playoffs, but they also do seem to have like 1 or 2 regular season games where it's just like, oh, they're the worst team in the league, but then they'll just come back out like the next week and roll some team that they shouldn't by like 30 points. Right?
100%. Yeah.
They just ran.
You almost knew it was
awful.
coming too. Like if you see Rashid Shaheed bombs like in the first quarter, it's probably game over.
Yeah.
Like you probably tell the fans to go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, he's been ridiculous too for the Saints to start the year. He's been fun to watch. Chargers and Steelers. Next one. Steelers are gonna be favored by 1.5 at home. I mean, honestly, that spread just feels like perfect because it feels like the Steelers will just make it an awful game and they'll probably win like 14-10 or something like that, or like 13-10. Like it'll just be something weird. I would like to think that Chargers should win this game. Like I think the defenses are close enough. Like obviously the Steelers have a better defense, but the Chargers defense I think is good enough, and I think the offense is better. Wider gap offense to offense, and there's defense to defense. Whereas it feels like the Chargers should win this game. But again, Mike Tomlin and the Steelers and that defense just always figure out a way somehow to just win these games, and it just doesn't make sense.
I think the biggest headline here, like J.K. Dobbins averaging like 10 a carry,
Mm-hmm.
still healthy, and going into week 3, it's big news for him. Rooting for the guy. I will though say, like we mentioned it last week, I cannot stand watching a Steelers brand football game. I cannot stand it.
It sucks.
And then it's like, oh, now we have to we're getting a Tomlin versus Jim Harbaugh. It's gonna be the grossest game of football, but somebody's gonna have to come out on top.
Yep, absolutely. Donnie's asking if Herbert is playing. I'm pretty sure he is.
I
haven't seen anything that says he's not. So I think he was limited in practice. So I'm assuming that he's playing. So I don't know. Well, I guess that might be a game time thing, but my money would be on yes. So
feeling better, hoping to.
Also, when the hell is Russell Wilson coming back?
He's not.
Does anybody
Never.
Seriously, I'm confused because yeah, the Steelers have won games, but Fields has not played well enough to take the job. I don't think so.
I mean, if you're winning football games in the NFL, I think you roll with the guy who's winning you football games until they lose. First loss, he's out of there.
Maybe, I don't know. But I mean, still, yeah, he just hasn't really played well. So I don't know. Broncos Bucks. I mean, the Bucks should, I would think, win by a lot. I mean, they looked very, very good first couple weeks so far. And the Broncos have looked very, very bad. It's probably about sums up what this game looks like coming into it, right? I don't know if you have anything else to add there.
No, I mean, yes, Broncos are really bad. Bo Nix sucks. He does. I mean, the Bucks are fine. They're good offensively. Didn't really do shit last week, but found a way to win. I guess that's what good teams do.
That's what good teams do. Raiders and Panthers.
Throw up.
Don't care. I mean, Andy Dalton's starting, I guess. So maybe we'll find out if Bryce Young's been the problem or if the Panthers are just the worst organization of all
Gardner
time.
Minshew's sick. Brock Bowers is dope. My fantasy league, I'm thinking I'm going to run a 2 tight end set because I can.
That's good.
That's a fun thing.
That's really good.
I mean, rock out McBride and Bowers.
Love it.
Might put up 130 on that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
who's
just
the other option at the flex there?
JMO.
JMO? Yeah. Kind of depends on if you want to go with someone's probably guaranteed to give you 10 to 15 or somebody that's going to give you 5 or 25.
100%. But like, it's just power fantasy. It's fun.
Yeah,
fantasy.
power fantasy. Yeah, gotta love it. It's sexy, just sexy fantasy. Yeah, I'm not really gonna spend much more time on this game though. Las Vegas favored by 5. I don't know. We'll see. Dolphins and Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 4.5. Obviously, Dolphins gonna be. Are they rolling out Skylar Thompson or what's the plan there for them?
I think that's the game plan. That's
Ryan
what I've heard so
Tannehill.
far. Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill.
No, it says Dolphins turn to focus on Skylar Thompson.
Okay, so that's probably not going to go super well for the Dolphins. Didn't he have like one crazy game though when that one year when he first had to come in?
I don't think so.
I thought he was like one of those guys that had he had like a game where like he had like 3 touchdowns, and the next week threw like 4 picks.
I mean, Tua gets hurt every year, so
It's true.
last year.
True, it's not a bad point. But I would never bet on that game in a million years.
Yeah, no.
Because I don't know what's going to happen. Because I don't think the Seahawks are anything special either. Ravens Cowboys. I mean, a lot of people probably thought that coming into this game, Cowboys would probably be 2-0. Ravens maybe be 1-1 with like a tough loss to the Chiefs. Thought wrong. Cowboys, got dominated by the Saints. The Ravens now are 0-2 after a loss to the Raiders. Baltimore still favored by 1 at Dallas. This is a big game for both these teams. I mean, it's kind of a tough spot to be in if you're the Ravens. Like if you start 0-3, like that's a uphill climb to get back into the playoff picture.
Yeah, big time. And then also your head coach, was sitting pretty in the NFL. Brother comes in, now they're 2-0. You go 0-3 and he goes 3-0. That's even worse. No, they look bad, like genuinely bad.
Mhm.
John Harbaugh has not looked good. Same with Dallas. I mean, it's an even game. I don't know what to expect from this.
Yeah. I think it'll be a high scoring game. Should be fun. I think both these teams are still good. They just, I think, have gotten off to rocky starts. I think they'll both be in the playoff picture by the end of the year.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on that.
Niners, looking to bounce back. Rams obviously 0-2. Niners favored by 6.5 going to the Rams. I mean, you would think it's crazy, but like, let's remember, like Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp both not playing for the Rams.
Both not playing, and they got absolutely throttled last week. They got bent over, so it might be really bad.
Yeah, especially Niners, like coming off a loss to the Vikings, the game that they shouldn't have lost, on paper. I'm assuming they kind of come back out with a little bit of a vengeance. So, we'll see.
The thing with 49ers, though, is obviously CMC is out. George Kittle is now hurt. I don't know if you saw that news. Debo's doubtful to play. Bosa's also questionable.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just injury bug.
Yeah, all over the place. Just get healthy, I guess. It's time for Purdy to prove that he can actually be a good quarterback without, an entire all-pro roster around him. We'll see. Lions and Cardinals. Lions looking to bounce back again, obviously off that bad loss last week with the Hendon Hooker allegations flying. Obviously, the Cardinals were the story of last week. Kyler Murray, comes out, perfect passer rating. Marvin Harrison Jr. officially arrives with a big game. How we feeling going down to Arizona with the Cardinals team that's frisky.
Something needs to get fixed. Let's just put it that way. You can't have 500 yards and lose to a Buccaneers team. Can't happen. Hopefully, Kyler Murray dances around the pocket a little bit. Aiden Hutchinson maybe cracks a few ribs. Ideally, no. I mean, Detroit's defense has looked a lot better. I think they win big.
Donnie says Lions -3, throw the mortgage. So then also Tyler said that Jared Goff comes back down to earth.
He's already down to earth.
Yeah, I think he already is back on earth. I'm assuming that's probably more referring to last week, but I don't think he was necessarily ever really. I mean, I think Jared Goff's a good quarterback, so I mean, I think he bounces back well. And like you said, I think there's a good chance Lions win this game. Big, but
I like
at the same time, I'm not going to write off the Cardinals by any means because I do think that they are a very, very interesting team.
No, they're very good. Have so many weapons all around. If you're the Lions, though, I'd like them to use their tight end who's like a superstar. Like that'd be cool if they did that.
My fantasy team would love that.
Yeah. He has 4 catches this year. It's brutal. I mean, it's just simple. You got to put points on the board, and they have not done that so far this year.
Let's go to Sunday Night Football. Chiefs at Falcons. And speaking of tight ends, Kate asks, has Taylor ruined Kelsey? Will we see the true Travis come back, Weeze?
No, he's not playing this year.
You think he's just done?
Yeah.
Yeah, just taking the year off.
He'll go out there. He's not going to do shit all year, though.
No, I think that he will not do much regular season. I just will still stand by the fact that I think playoffs rolls around and we probably get maybe not quite prime, but I think he will have some big moments, big games in the playoffs, and maybe in crucial moments even still during the regular.
All the
regular
team does
season.
is fucking win.
Yeah, they They look like a juggernaut that just can't be stopped right now. They're favored by 3 going to Atlanta. I don't know. I don't know if Atlanta can keep up with the Chiefs, just scoring wise, because again, it's just crazy how last year was well, the last 2 years were supposed to be the years where like the Chiefs finally came down. They lost some weapons, and now they still just went out, won another Super Bowl, and then they just reloaded again and got better. So
yeah, I think Pacheco breaking his legs is going to have bigger impact. Obviously, they just all they do is win. It sucks. I hate them.
Yep. Jaguars Bills, we got a double header on Monday night. So the one that kicks off first is going to be Jags and Bills. Buffalo's favored by 5. Shout out to the Bills, honestly. I think for early in the season, I think they've gotten off to a better start than people expected. Cardinals at home gave them a little bit of a test, but I think the Cardinals are just good. Then they go to the Dolphins and dominate them even before the Tua injury. So I think that maybe some people wrote off the Bills a little bit too much before the season after losing some weapons. Obviously, they're still going to have to play a lot of games left in the season that they got to keep winning. But I don't know. I know I was definitely higher than you were. I mean,
I was down on the Bills.
Do you get a little bit more up
good.
now?
Yeah, they look good.
Josh Allen can just put the team on his back.
Yeah, and he has to for this team to be great, and that's what he's done. I think he's going to do it all year. This team's a lot better than I thought.
Yeah,
I'll admit that loss.
Also, Jags, very weird spot right now. I mean, again, 0-2. I said it on Monday. Like, they haven't won a game since Thanksgiving of last year. So that's definitely concerning. The Trevor Lawrence stuff, that narrative, like he's got to start playing better and putting the Jags in position to win. Or, I still don't necessarily think he's a bad quarterback, but he's got to start playing like the prospect that they thought they drafted.
Yeah, no, time's up.
Yep. Commanders, Bengals. Should be a fun game. Commanders are young. Jaden Daniels looked good so far this year. But this, to me, like 7 feels like a big spread in the NFL, but that still feels like to me that the Bengals are going to cover. Coming off an 0-2 start in 2 games where Patriots losing that game to start the year, like that's just a brutal blow. Shouldn't have lost it. Had the Chiefs on the ropes. Should have beat them. And then obviously some errors late end up killing you. I feel like they just come out this week and just different mindset type thing, like looking to kill. And I think they take care of a young Commanders team that's probably not ready for this caliber game yet.
You're right. If you go 0-3 to the Commanders, season's over.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all the games. Let's get a couple of comments up. Aiden Hutchinson, think he can break the sack record this year?
No.
Not even a chance?
I love him. He's a beast, but he has gone up against 2 backup tackles. I think he can maybe lead the league, and he probably won't either. TJ Watt's such a bitch. That's all he does.
Sack the quarterback.
I don't think, I would say the leaders for that award, though, I think will be Hutchinson, Crosby, and TJ. But I don't know. But he's a beast, though.
No word from Parsons and Myles Garrett in that conversation. All right. And then, Donnie kind of going, is Trevor Lawrence a bust? Sunshine can't complete a pass. I don't think I'd call him a bust yet, but definitely needs a little bit of an uptick. Because, again, it's hard to call a guy straight up a bust if, he has still played fairly well for most of his career. He just hasn't been, elite like we thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe you can call him a bust for how much hype he had. Kind of have to just wait and see how the rest of his career goes, I guess. All right, that kind of does it, I guess, for the NFL preview. Don't think there's a whole lot else to talk about outside of just really the games. We kind of hit all the major storylines for all the teams, I feel like. So that being said, we'll take another quick 1-minute break. Then when we come back from that, we will get into Rock Hard Bets, Rock Hard Takes, and Kelly's Kinky Rankings. So once again, you listen to Rock Hard Ball, part of the Dogs Media Network and College Football Dogs, and we will be right back.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12-plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College football dogs for the fans.
Top
Brock
five
Bowers
right
number
now.
one.
Yeah. So as we kind of come back in from break here, what we're talking about right now is Clyde is making the claim that Hunter Henry is a top 5 tight end. As we're watching Thursday Night Football here, I'm gonna have to
now.
I'm gonna thoroughly disagree with you on that.
He's
Not
not
end
top
of the year.
15.
Not end of the year. But
He's top 15
right
I
now.
think.
Right now.
I think he's top 15. But he's not
I mean, it's a
top
bad
5. He doesn't
show
even-
if
he
I
doesn't
just
even
sit in my
s-
head and rattle off 15 better tight ends.
Yeah.
But I
but-
could do it. But I'll save you guys from it.
Can you give us like 10?
Sam Laporta, Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, Cole Kmet, healthy Luke Musgraves, I think's better. Evan Ingram, Jake Ferguson's better. George Kittle's better. Travis Kelsey's better. How much is that?
Both of the Ravens tight ends.
Both of the Ravens tight ends better. We got to be at 10 already.
That's 10. Yeah,
All right.
10 or 11.
We'll
So,
move on.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry, Kelly. Better look next year.
Okay.
Yeah, Sammy J said absurd take. 100%. Also, Donnie, appreciate the love. Loving the show. Great stuff. Love you too, Donnie. Good to have you in here. Getting in the comments makes for a better show. All right, let's go to Rock Hard Bets for the week. Take a look at what Weezy and I each got going here. These are our records here as we go into this week's bets. Obviously, Weezy's got that 2-game lead on me at 11-6. I'm at 9-8, so still hold my head above water, treading a little bit over 500. But these are our bets for the week. So obviously, we both got Tennessee off rip there. I mean, we talked about it earlier.
You can do the talking for me.
All right, yeah. I mean, we already really said it when we previewed the game. I mean, Tennessee is just, I think, in a different league than Oklahoma is. So 6.5. I know it's on the road. I know Oklahoma's the 15th team in the country, but I think there's a big gap there. I'm going to go Kansas State -7. Again, mentioned it a little bit. They go to BYU, who's gotten off to a good start this season, but I still don't think that they are in a place where they can hang with Kansas State. I really like what they got going on there. I know I've been accused of being a Chris Kleiman and Kansas State Glazer in the past, but I do like the program a lot. I think they're a good team. And then finally, Oregon State -4.5, which is a game that we didn't really talk about when we were doing our game previews, but they are playing Purdue at home. And after watching that just absolute shit stomping that they suffered from Notre Dame, and Oregon State, I think is a solid team. I feel like 4.5 is too small at home. I think they bounce back from the rivalry week game against Oregon. So
yeah, solid picks. Don't mind them. Boston College -6.5. Don't have to mention it. 9-11, red bandana. They're not allowed to lose. Plus, Michigan State's bad. Baylor money line. Colorado still sucks. Baylor's 2-1. Their only loss so far is to who is it? I want to say Utah. I gotta look this up.
yeah.
Yeah,
you're right.
Utah. They lost by like 10 or 11, I think. Colorado still sucks. I don't care if they beat the shit out of Colorado State. They're also, I want to say they're +2.5. So just take the money line. You're gonna make money on it.
Yeah. NFL. I guess we'll shout out Donnie's bet here. He goes Illinois, Nebraska under 43 for college. I don't know. That's a weird game that I just don't really want to bet because I just don't know enough like what good Nebraska or Illinois offenses will do against their first real defenses that they've really seen so far. Because I mean, even Kansas, like they were a ranked team, and we've learned that they're not very good. They were still driven by like their offense. So it's like neither of these teams have seen a good defense yet. I don't know. They might still score points. It's hard to say. 43 is a low over under. I don't know. Do you have like really a preference either way there? I feel like it's a pretty good line. Like I feel like it's going to be close to that.
I would lean under just because I trust Nebraska's defense a lot. I don't care how good Altmaier has been. And then I think there will be a little bit of a setback from Raiola in that offense just because, like you said, Illinois has a pretty solid defense.
Yeah, I could definitely see the game going like a 21-17 or something like that.
I'm like a 21-10.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe jump them early.
Yep, for sure. All right, getting to NFL here. Obviously, you guys can already see them, but for anybody who's maybe just listening, I've got Packers +2.5. Again, I mentioned it earlier. Maybe it's a little bit of a homer pick. I really don't think it is. I think Malik Willis can hold it together well enough, and the defense and the run game have played well enough, especially against a bad Tennessee team, that I think they can go down there. And I want to go money line, but we kind of talked about it last week. Like sometimes it just feels almost like stupid to go money line when it's just like a close spread like that. Might as well just take cover just to kind of cover your ass. So I'll go +2.5, but I do think that there's a very real chance they win the game outright. Same thing with the Chargers. Yeah, I said earlier that it feels like a game that the Steelers should just win in a weird way, but I still think the Chargers are a better team than the Steelers. Obviously, two very good head coaches, but the Chargers have a massive upgrade or mismatch, whatever you want to call it, at quarterback. And then, neither team's skill players are super impressive, but, Chargers have the better running back. Wide receiver rooms are probably pretty even. Tight ends probably pretty close to a scratch. And yeah, Steelers have a little bit better defense, but I think the Chargers have a good chance to win that game.
I agree with you. I hate to cut you off. Drake May is in the ball game.
Oh,
We're at
okay.
commercial break.
All right. That's exciting. I appreciate the heads up.
It's huge.
It'd be interesting to see how he does as this thing plays out. And then finally, Bengals -7. Again, I mentioned it when we kind of previewed it. But, Monday night, prime time. Commanders are young. It's going to be their first primetime game. Bengals are hungry for a win. I feel like it's just gotten, maybe not, crazy, like 20, 30 point blowout, but I feel like it's got two score win written all over it for the Bengals. So,
no, I agree with you. I don't have that one. Eagles +2.5. We already talked a lot about this game. The miracle run has to end. It has to end. Cannot keep going this week. Philly's coming off of a heartbroken loss. I think they pound them. I think it's bad. Texans -2. It's pretty simple. Texans are legit. Sam Darnold falling off. It's going to happen any day now, and I think it's this week. And then we already kind of talked about it. Lions -3 actually is like my most uncomfortable bet. I'm just hoping it's one of those shootouts where Cardinals just can't really keep up with them. That's all I have.
Yeah. No, I like your plays too.
I hate the NFL slate. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I didn't like it either. I had a tough time picking games. Yeah, just not the easiest one to bet. I mean, college is almost always easier to bet than the NFL.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, the NFL slate this week was particularly, I think, harder than past week. I mean, I think we both. I don't have the stats on it obviously in front of me, but I think we both performed better on college all season long, haven't we?
I'm almost positive.
Yeah.
Well, we both went 3-0 like week 1 in college.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had the 3-0 that one week, and then I think I went 3-0, 0-3 that one week, and then I think the other 2 weeks I've been 2-1 and 1-2. So yeah. All right, let's go to Rock Hard Takes next.
Bone up, folks. It's time for Rock Hard Takes.
It's okay.
All right, today's Rock Hard Takes are going to be things your parents lied to you about when you were a kid. So obviously I couldn't fit the whole thing there on the graphic, but that's the full title of the segment basically. So basically just anything that your parents, could maybe be specific to you or maybe kind of a general thing. Like maybe did a little bit of both. But yeah, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. So we'll get into it. We figured I had first pick, right?
Yeah, you got the 1-1.
Okay. So almost kind of a boring 1-1, but I feel like it's just the obvious pick, and I feel like you just kind of have to go with it here. I'm gonna go with like just fake figures. So Santa, Easter Bunny.
You're gonna take all of them.
Tooth Fairy. I mean, are we really gonna separate them out?
That's like the biggest lie, though. Is just that you got to pick individually. You can't pick all of them.
You're putting Tooth Fairy in the same category as Santa.
They're both fake.
That's so
Fake
fucked as Santa
figures.
Claus, dude.
Yeah, but
Okay, do you want me to just take one singular then?
No, it's fine. I had Tooth Fairy on the list. I didn't have any more, but
Okay.
I think it's just disrespectful to Santa to put Tooth Fairy in that category.
Tooth
Nobody cared about the Tooth Fairy.
Tooth Fairy's fucking scary, dude.
Nobody cared.
Takes
about
your
him.
teeth.
Santa's like every kid's idol.
Yeah, but your
for
kids
the first-
told you that, or your parents told you as a kid that a Tooth Fairy came and gave you money for like teeth that you lost. Like that's a lie. That your parents told you.
Yeah, they didn't drop
think
off
you're focusing-
hundreds of dollars worth of gifts.
You're
at your
focusing
fucking-
way too much on me grouping these. You can take Tooth Fairy for your next pick.
I'm not taking them at all now. You ruined it.
I wouldn't
for me.
take them.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That wouldn't.
You
But
can
yeah.
take all the magical creatures.
All right. Yeah. By the way, the Santa Claus Tooth Fairy is on his council.
From the fucking
Right.
movie.
Yeah. So I think that is valid reason that backs it up.
Same with Jack
He is
Frost.
on that magical like council or whatever. So
Yeah.
he's
All right.
included.
Okay. I don't even know. I got 2. I'll take the having like a car light on inside at night's illegal. That one's batting practice. And then I'll do if you swallow gum, it stays in your stomach for 7 years.
Two really good picks there.
Is it not?
No.
I thought it takes time for it to
Christ.
break down. No, I thought I didn't hear that from my
It's-
parents.
Yeah,
but it was
it's like tougher to break down than normal food. But
yeah, it doesn't take 7 years, but I'm assuming.
it takes like a day.
Shit. Okay. Don't worry now.
I can't believe you still believe that. That's crazy. Okay, next one I'll go with coffee stunts your growth. I don't know if your parents, you guys ever like told you that, but I think that's a pretty common one that like parents tell their kids because they don't want them to drink caffeine.
I was doomed from the start, brother.
So coffee stunts your growth. Yeah, that's one I'll go with. The next one I'll go with a classic. We have McDonald's at home. We do not have McDonald's at home, Mom. That is not true. So let me get McDonald's. I know it's not closed. I know we do not have McDonald's at home. Let's go to McDonald's. So that's my next one.
That's a good one. Okay, I got two more, and then I see. Tooth Fairy would have been a great pick right here. Okay, so this one's more so me.
What? Pause 1 second. What the hell is this comment?
If I said my name to some guy playing BO2, they would know my SSN by default.
Did we say something that like spurred that comment?
If I said my name,
I'm very confused here.
BO2, they would know my SSN.
I'm thinking he's saying that his parents said that like if you're in random lobbies,
okay, yes,
you say your name,
yes.
like,
Okay,
they're gonna
thank
dox you.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
the IP address.
Thank you for the explanation. I was very confused for a second
Well-
there. I guess I'm just stupid. My bad. All right,
Well,
go
at
ahead.
least
Sorry.
guy getting racist in there. Okay, this one's more personal to me, I would say, but I grew up thinking like every team I rooted for was really good. Found out later that was a lie. Took me till I was like 13 or 14 to realize like Michigan just doesn't beat Ohio State every year. In fact, like I went when I was 11 and then we didn't win again until I was 20. So that's a lie. I swear to God, it hit me when I was like 14 or 15. I'm like, we actually haven't won in this game a lot in the past 15 years.
So like a lie your parents told you, though? Like
Maybe not my parents tell me. Sorry.
okay.
Crazy comment.
Cade's getting wild in the comments.
No, I'm saying like it's maybe not a lie, but like you grew up watching I grew up watching the sports teams that like my dad has on. I thought like we would win it.
Yeah, okay. That yeah, I get where you're coming from there.
And in most cases, like in some sports, yeah, we were good when I was like watching those. In other cases, we were really fucking bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. Picking up what you're laying down there.
Yeah.
All right, you got another one.
Shit, I do. We're not gonna rock the one that came throughout in the comments. I'll say dinner will be ready in 15 minutes.
Yeah,
it's never ready in
Yeah,
15
right.
minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I appreciate the cooking. It's not ready in 15. Tell me 25, 30, and it's gonna
let me
accurate
go on with my
measurement of
life.
time. Yeah.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go with just like when you're like telling your like parents like a story like when you're a kid and like they like just seemed like really invested in it and like really care what you're talking about. They didn't care. Like they didn't care what I drew in art class earlier. Like so I'll just go with kind of that in general.
Okay.
That's probably more like when you're fairly young, but yeah, they don't care. I got one more here. I'll go with one that's like more just personal to me. So growing up, not the biggest fan of like fishing, like just gets pretty boring for me, like sitting in the boat for like hours and like especially if you're not catching fish, like it just gets really old. And so my dad is just very notorious for like he knew that like I didn't want to be out there too much longer. Or not even too much longer. Like I wanted to go home. Like I wanted to go in. And he would always just like say like one more pass, like to like the little spot because like we troll through and then we turn around, we troll through again. And he would just constantly say one more pass, one more pass. It's the biggest lie of all time. I mean, every single person in my family knows that as soon as my dad says one more pass, we're out there for at least another hour, maybe two. Like it's just not true. So I'll go with that one.
I have one more, right?
Yeah.
I'll do when your parents say that like they don't have a favorite child and they love you equally. That's such bullshit. Everybody knows that. I don't think they have like a permanent favorite child, but you can do things to be number one on that tier list. You might be number at the bottom in a year later, but they have favorites.
Yeah. No, I would say like most parents. I would say most parents like probably like love all their kids equally, but there's definitely ones that they would much rather like be around like at certain times. Yeah. So
I like for my family, I think I get propped up to probably number one during football season.
Because you're the biggest football fan.
Yeah, it's like I don't think like my dad has other options out there but me.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you have any like honorable mentions you want to throw out?
If you cross your eyes, like they'll get stuck.
Yeah, that's one I had. Another one I had was like, I mean, it's kind of the classic. You kind of alluded to it earlier with your one pick. Like with the dinner's ready in 15, but like car ride, like are we there yet? Like almost. Like no, we're not.
Well, that was on us. that was on us for being greedy.
Yeah, but still, like you could have just if you would have straight up told me those still like no, like we're 3 hours away. Like I probably wouldn't have asked for at least a little bit longer. Like, but if you say almost, I'm gonna ask again because I think we're almost there. So
well, if you say are we almost there, and like they have to say no, we're 4 hours away, that's really bad judgment of timing on your end.
I was 7.
Happens. It happens.
Other one. Let's see. Like if you're like at, I guess kind of goes down. Like, say like you want to you want your mom to take you to the pool, or like you're trying to like leave like a relative, like a friend's house, and it's like can we go? It's like, can we go? And it's like, yeah, give me like 5 minutes. Like, and it's never 5 minutes. Like it's like 15, 20 before you have to leave.
So true. So true.
Donnie said, we'll just put it up.
That's
That's
so
what these guys are laughing at. I didn't see it till just now. But when your dad would drive home from a family party 12 beers deep and says, "I'm good to go," yeah, possibly a lot. I'm sorry that you had to go through that, Donnie. All right, I don't know if I have any other honorable mentions. I'll think about it. Like if you ask, like do something, like I'll think about it. It's no.
Yeah.
No, they won't.
Just say no. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any other ones?
No.
All right. That'll do it for Rock Hard Takes. Things your parents lied about. So before we get out of here, let's head to our last segment of the evening. Kelly's Kinky.
This better be good.
Man,
Better
it's
be
going to be good.
Better be
It's
good.
going to be good. Yeah.
In a world of politics, war, bad beats, and watching your favorite sports teams come up short, sometimes you just need to hear a guy rank random shit. Enter your hero, Colin Kelly, here today for another edition of Kelly's Kinky Rankings.
All right. We're going to be doing athletes I would like to go on a darkness retreat with. This could be like Aaron Rodgers kind of deal or just camping, I guess, in a sense, but darkness retreat. Number 5, starting it strong with 23-year-old Linsanity.
Solid pick.
I feel like, I don't know, we would have a lot in common. He's a newly grad college kid, New York.
Did he go to college?
Yeah, Harvard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he went to Harvard for all 4, I think, for the degree. But
Yeah, I forgot about that.
yeah, I don't know. He seems cool. I feel like he's like an outdoors kind of guy. He could like fix some shit or something.
Maybe.
But then again, it's a darkness retreat, so I'd enjoy his company.
Would he be an outdoor guy? I mean, Harvard, kind of a nerd.
He would be a nerd, but I feel like he's smart enough where like, we go on a
He,
darkness
like-
retreat, he can like somehow like be like a psychologist and like soothe me,
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying there.
He's good with his words. I could just say that. Number 4 is kind of bullshit, but I'm gonna use it. Shane Gillis, he played at Elon.
Okay.
Real ones know about his awesome story of him serving in the military, also playing D1 football and
Mhm.
being a comedian. So I'm gonna toss Shane Gillis in there just because he played at Elon. Not really, but Shane Gillis would be one of those good ones where if I'm locked in a room with him and it's pitch black, say for like 2 days, oh my God. The amount of comedy gold that would happen with him is just, oh man, it'd be nice. Him pulling out the Donald Trump little voice and then just being like, "No, you can't do that," and then just go back and forth and just have him.
What's this? The ayahuasca retreat?
Yeah. So Shane Gillis in there, I feel like he can come up with some really funny shit while we're locked in there.
You put Jeremy Lin in there?
Yeah, Linsanity, man. There's nothing wrong with that. He's a smart guy. I feel like he, soothing guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that number 4, Shane Gillis. Number 3, Tony Snell. So me growing up as a Bulls fan, I'm like, who the fuck is this Nigerian guy? And then Tony Snell, he's the most quiet guy on the planet. He has a beautiful family. He is one of the main, actually, he's an advocate for autistic basketball athletes. I know both of his kids have autism, but he's a huge advocate for that. But I feel like since he's such a quiet guy, I could be the one that like brings him out
Okay.
into being more talkative. Also, we could argue about him getting his 10-year and how it's bullshit, how no one signed him because Tony Snell's a good veteran. So we could talk about that for a little bit. I could ask him what his favorite color is, and then he'll maybe get a little shy and be like, "Purple."
All right. That was weird. That was weird. Let's move forward.
I'm just saying, it's Tony Snell. It's probably going to sound like that. All right. Yeah. All right. Number 2, Case Keenum. Case Keenum, I feel like he'd like bring like ribs.
The darkness retreat.
Yeah. I feel like he would just bring a lot of snacks.
I feel like you can't cook them because it's supposed to be dark, so you can't use like fire or anything.
Yeah, no, he brings them in there.
I think it's just like solely you two and ayahuasca.
Yeah, but like you could bring snacks, I'd assume. There's no rule you can't bring snacks. I feel
No,
like.
it is your rank.
Yeah, I feel like
You set the rules.
yeah, Case Keenum could bring some snacks. Cool guy, should have won the Super Bowl if he made it. Yeah, bring snacks.
Okay.
And then number 1 is Family Man, Mr. Brock Osweiler. This one's kind of random, but God, he seems so cool, but like a total prick. So I would love to just hang out with him because I feel like he can give me some like life tricks.
He's a cool prick.
Yeah, he's a cool prick because like he was behind or no, he wasn't. He was head of P-Man, and then he was behind Tom Brady, right?
Well, he was Manning's backup. Manning got hurt. He played, then Manning came back for the Super Bowl.
Okay, and then
Or like the playoff run or something.
holy shit! So he's backup for fucking Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
I don't think he was ever Brady's backup, was he?
No, you're thinking of Jimmy Garoppolo, brother.
I thought Mr.
Also, I
Brock was-
texted him. He's like, "What do you need me to do for the list tonight?" I said, we haven't done like who would you want to do drugs in, like with the Forest list. If
Brock
you would have told me
Osweiler.
that his top 3 are Brock Osweiler, Case Keenum, and Tony Snell, like what are we doing?
Dude, they're fucking interesting people, man. Case Keenum has a lot of talk about him, man. He has a lot of football knowledge. Brock Osweiler, he can give me some money scheme. I mean, he robbed the NFL of a shitload of money.
That's true. I guess.
I mean, he could probably teach me how to throw the deep ball. I mean, he can't really in the dark, but I don't know. He's a nice family. He'd probably like, tell me how to be a better person. So I feel like it'd be nice to hang out with him, better than Case Keenum.
I'm gonna have to say not ideal.
I was gonna put A-Rod number 1, but that guy, he's so full of himself. I don't know if I could like actually sit with him and like listen to him talk.
We get some Donnie comments here. Tiger Woods from 05 to 08 could have been good.
That would have been good. Yeah.
Actually, if you were here earlier of athletes he let his daughter date, there was 98 to 02 Tiger. So
Yeah. We got Case Keenum all-time bad pick, D- list.
Okay.
And then he also you don't have anything to talk about with Brock Osweiler. Oh, Brock, you're 6'7", sick. Moving on.
Dude, no, that is so cool though. I mean, dude, actually looking back at it, I should have fucking picked Cutler. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Like
I
he
could have
would
gotten
just-
behind color.
Yeah, he would just be
Cutler
like,
is so much better than your top 2.
he would have just been like, stupid bitch wife, the Bears, just
Then
go
it-
back and forth, and it'd be like, it's okay, Jay, you're the guy.
If he really wanted to, like, do the Darkness Street right, you could bring the veteran with like A-Rod.
See, that's what I was going to. That's what I was gonna like. It's the obvious choice for number 1, but he's full of
I'm not
himself.
saying I'd be number. I'm just like throwing it out there.
Yeah, I mean, he is the guy to do it with. My only issue
No, absolutely.
is just, I mean, he's like the
no,
most.
he is the worst guy to do it with.
Well, he's the most experienced, but also
Don't
it's
care.
like sharing a drink with him. I don't know.
Donnie's
if I'd
got some
wanna do
banners
that.
here. Manziel and Rodman. Those have been great picks.
I've picked Rodman too many times on lists.
That is
I
true.
gotta
You have
stop
you-
using him. And
Rodman
Manziel.
Rodman fits a lot of these lists.
Yeah.
What have you used Johnny that often?
Dude, I did.
Get him in
I
Vegas.
literally did fucking Scooby Doo Manziel like 3 times.
Oh.
Yeah, not Johnny. I just Scooby Doo Manziel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which those are also really good picks. I had to pick.
Man, I
new-
can't lie. I don't really know a
I'd
whole
pick
lot
new
else that
people.
I would do.
I had to pick.
Oh,
new
Antonio
people, so.
Brown. Give me Antonio Brown.
Yeah, he'd be good. I'm just trying
CTE
to think
one or
of-
pre-CTE?
CTE.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I don't want pre-CTE Antonio Brown.
Yeah, he's too smart. Yeah, I like him now.
Yeah, because he just says the most out-of-pocket
Yeah,
shit of all time,
dumbass of the day.
amongst other things.
Yeah.
All right. Not your best work, Kelly, but I wouldn't say it's awful.
I feel like
Might-
it's
I probably wouldn't go
interesting.
quite D-, but I'd give it like a C, maybe.
Yeah,
Like Gillis was a good pick. Especially you got deep in the bag there. That you put out Elon like that.
Mhm.
Linsanity, you actually did make some good points about it, about him being a smart guy, probably wise. Yeah. All right, that'll do it though for Kelly's Kinky rankings. And as Kelly's Kinky rankings wrap up, that'll wrap up the show as well. So that'll do it for today's edition of Rock Hard Ball. We thank you guys all for tuning in. Again, if you haven't yet, make sure you follow, subscribe, whatever, to the Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, all that stuff. Go check it out so you can stay up to date with what we're doing. Again, we're part of the Dogs Media Network at Culture Ball Dogs. So shout out to those guys. Check out the website, cultureballdogs.com. And yeah, that's going to be it for us. But we will see you guys. What?
Also, Detroit Tigers are tied for the wild card spot.
Okay, shout out.
We
Also, we
Holy-
completely forgot. Shout out Shohei Ohtani too.
51,
Freak.
51.
Freak, absolutely freak.
Just a
Yeah, he's
fucking
dead.
dog, dude.
Didn't he? How many home runs did he hit? 2? He hit like 3. didn't he?
Three.
One was
It
off
was like
positional player, though.
6 for 6.
10
6 for 6,
RBIs,
10
baby.
RBIs, 2 stolen bases.
Yeah,
Baseball
and Tigers are
Tigers are tied for the wild card, so it's gonna suck when we get in and probably win the whole thing.
What's your record?
80 and 73.
You guys are
Shout out
so
Nathan.
lucky.
I know you're in a bad place with the Twins right now. It'll be okay. You would have lost to the Yankees anyways, but
Yankees suck.
stay strong, buddy. It'll be okay. Okay. Enough rambling. That's it. We're done. We will see you guys on Monday to recap week 4 of Culture Ball and week 3 in the NFL. Goodbye.
Bear down.